Hey guys, Pat here, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to look at this awesome, amazing butter on a biscuit, this 1959 tweed Harvard. We're going to talk about Harvards because there's two types, but this is the more desirable one with a 10-inch speaker and a pair of 6v6s. More wattage, more air. Not everything that comes into the repair shop is going to be a full restoration, and I don't know what we're actually going to do to this. So the woman who brought it in, it was in her family's, it was her uncle's, and it's been in one family all this time. And she brought it to another guitar shop, and they gave her kind of a ridiculously small offer on what it's worth. So what we're going to do today is just evaluate it. And as a tech, there's no emotion. We're going to look at it and tell her what it needs, what it doesn't need, what she can do, what she can't, and we give all the information and the family will decide. Maybe they want to stick it in a corner, maybe they want to sell it, maybe they want to use it, maybe they want to rent it out, maybe they want to fly it to the moon. Whatever, it's their amp. It's not mine, it's not yours, it's theirs. So let's check it out together, and we're going to evaluate it, and we'll contact the client, and then we'll see what we're going to do to it. This Harvard is worn in really good. Like, some parts are really clean, like the badge and the grow cloth. And you got some torn tweed right here. It's really aged really well. This is cool. So take a look at the back here, and everything seems to be original. These amps have all you need: an input and volume, tone. Let's look at the speaker. We have this beautiful Chicago made. Shout out New Pope. Made in the 21st week of 58. And this is a P10R. Got the original 2-prong cable in here. And I've noticed something interesting. So if we look at the tube chart here, right, this is a 5F10 Harvard circuit. We see HL. And that tells us that this was made in December of 1958. The serial number actually dates to an early 59. So is it a 58 or a 59? Well, I'm probably going to go with a 58. I'd love to know what you guys think, but I'm probably going to go with a 58. We'll have to do some more date codes, but this is the 21st week of 58. Tube chart says 58. Maybe the serial number reference online is a little bit off. Even the squeak of the screw sounds good. So we're going to take this off carefully because most likely there's going to be some asbestos on this back panel, and we want to be really careful about that. Yes, we do. We have asbestos. I know we all want to see what's inside, but I do want to talk about safety real quick. And this time it's asbestos. So in old Fender tweed amps, often you will see some asbestos on the back panel. What can you do about it? Well, a lot of people leave it. Most people leave it. Some people just like to throw this out and replace the whole back panel. Often I will encapsulate it in like a spray shellac. I tape it off. I shellac it many coats to kind of seal it up. My physician once told me the one fiber study that he strongly believes that one fiber of asbestos can lead to cancer. I've also heard clients who it doesn't bother them, and their physician said the one fiber study they don't trust. So I don't know, who knows, but asbestos obviously very serious. So if you have a tweed amp, and I know they smell good, don't go over and be sniffing it if you know that the asbestos is still in there. And if you're an amp tech, you got to be careful. And, there's a lot of risks of the job besides electrocution, which is what everyone talks about. Breathing solder and asbestos for, X amount of years. Rock and roll. So far, I see nothing has been done to this. This is all original. God damn. All right, looks like it was wired by Lily. I think this is Lily. Yeah, I think this is wired up by Lily. We have all our original caps. These tubes all seem original. 5Y3, 6V6. Let's see what we got for the 12AX7. Do we got a JJ? What do we got? Beautiful, beautiful RCA. Awesome. Now this is an unusual tube. You don't see this every day. This is a 6AT6, right? This is a 7-pin tube. This is a single triode, and it is mostly closest to the 5751. So it has a little less gain than a 12AX7. So you can think of this as like a 5751 pre in the beginning. And let's see what we have here. Oh yeah, GE. Well, it is time to power it up. I know this has been turned on recently. I'm not afraid of this blowing up in my face. If this has been actually sitting for 50 years, that's a different story. But we are going to fire it up, and we are going to put it through this isolation transformer, especially because it's a 2-prong, and we want to monitor the current. But before I apply juice, I want to make sure that our center tap and our B+ set is not shorted. If I had a shorted, output transformer or filter cap, we certainly don't want to power it on, and we don't have it short. We are going to monitor it on DC here. We want to make sure that that B+ comes up nice and it's not being pulled down by something. I also want to monitor the bias voltage. This is a fixed bias amp. It's not cathode bias, so I want to make sure we have negative bias of the power tube so we don't damage anything. And without further ado, be brave in amp teching. All right, we got negative bias, 438 volts. That's going to drop down once we draw a little more current. Dirty sockets. A little hum, but not bad. We got to clean these sockets. Let's do that first. So we're not going to pull every capacitor here and check it, but looking at the schematic, the easiest one to check quick and dirty is this first one. This is straight up coupling caps. We don't want any DC. And we basically have, we got about 0.3 volts leaking across. These are going on to fixed bias, so we're going to have to pull one leg to really accurately check that. But let's check one of them through the send cord just to see. Rats, no surprise there, but yeah, we're getting about 8 volts leaking across that cap. So we know this is bad, but we're going to just double verify it real quick for my own curiosity. The value is probably fine. Yep. And there's a leakage. All right, so we have not even played through this yet, but I do want to put it on the scope. That is going to tell us so much. We have a test signal here coming in. Isolation transformer on. It's going to go into a dummy load. First, we're going to power it up through a speaker. Then I'll switch it over to the dummy load. Okay, it looks up. Wait a minute. I'm going to say it looks good, but it looks a little bit light on the top. Now we're on the 8 ohm dummy load. Yeah, see the top there? That's not good. See that? Could be one of those caps could be leaking so bad it's actually turning one of the tubes off. Yeah, all right, see that? That's what I thought. So when you pull this tube, everything goes away. So first thing I want to know, is the tube bad? And are we getting signal to that socket? Some of you at home are probably wondering why I'm moving so fast. Remember, I'm not servicing the amp. I'm only doing evaluation. So I have a nice clean signal going into each power tube. Let's see if you can see that. Nice signal. Nice signal. So the grid of each tube is getting nice clean signal. So I'm getting a little nervous. The top half is not clipping right. I swapped the tubes and it stayed the same. For giggles, we're going to try a new set. We are not getting so much DC leakage that a tube just would turn off. I am getting B+ to the plates. I have screen voltage. The cathode is grounded. Let's see what happens with this new set. Give me a nice clean sine wave. Nope. All right, so it is time to check the output transformer. There are numerous ways an output transformer can fail. I know that I have B+ here and here on the plates, but let's check resistance. This is going to be our center tap, and here we have 325 ohms, and here we have 2 ohms. Yeah, shit. 325 and 2, so that would explain it. Okay. So again, why am I doing this? I want to see it on the scope. I want to hear it. This is an estimate process. I don't want to miss anything. It wouldn't be very cool if we start working on it and then tell the client, oh, I didn't tell you the speaker's blown. There you go. That's how it should look. See that? Beautiful. So unfortunately, we know that this output transformer is bad. You never want to change an output transformer, especially in something like this. We have options. We'll figure it out. We'll discuss it with the client. But let's power it up. It's probably going to be a little dark with those leaky astrons. And I just want to hear the speaker and make sure it's... Something sad.